The chief industries of Carroll County are spinning mills, hosiery mills, ginneries, oil mills, lumber mills, and furniture factories. Several new textile plants have begun operation during the past year, and many enlargements have been made on those already in operation. The Atlanta Constitution, June 14, 1928. These mills brought employment and a sense of community to the West Georgia area. Mills created affordable housing for employees, opportunities for socialization outside of work, and the ability for skilled workers to earn a living wage. President of the Mandeville Mills until his death in 1926, L.C. Mandeville served the community of Carrollton, not only as an employer but also as a board member of the First National Bank in Carrollton and as an elder in the Presbyterian Church. Mr. L.C. Mandeville, as a businessman who does an annual trade of $75,000, besides buying 3,000 bales of cotton a year, he is second to none in a sincere desire to see his town prosper, and his entire people naturally expect to find him in the front whenever encouragement is needed for a newly projected enterprise. The Atlanta Constitution, June 1, 1890. Mandeville Mills continued to be a major employer in Carroll County until its closing in 1953. Textile production peaked during World War II, but after the war, mills began to shut down. As the doors to old mills closed, new opportunities opened for several textile-related industries and businesses. The legacy of Carrollton's textile industry remains and continues to play an important role in the lives of Carrollton's citizens and the larger community today. The mill buildings have outlasted the textile industry, but the personal connections to this history last only a few generations. Public historians Keri and Andy Carter are working to preserve the heritage of Carrollton's textile industry by creating interpretive signage.
I'm Keri. I'm a graduate student at the University of West Georgia, and I am the co-curator of the West Georgia Textile Heritage Trail of the 5 interpretive signs in Carrollton.
These 5 interpretive signs both document the industry and educate community members and tourists alike on the history of the textile industry in the city of Carrollton. By creating these signs, Adams and Carter are contributing to a larger project known as the West Georgia Textile Heritage Trail. This trail spans Highway 27 from Columbus to Dalton and seeks to educate locals and visitors about the history of textiles in the region. Each city along the route will complete individual plans to incorporate their textile history. The trail's main goal is to use heritage tourism to drive the economic development of these areas. By incorporating local textile history into these towns, visitors coming to see the sites will likely eat in at least one restaurant, stay overnight, or shop, thereby putting money back into the community.
The West Georgia Textile Heritage Trail is important to Carrollton and other cities along the trail with similar socioeconomic histories, because it helps connect the past and the story of that city to the people and to the buildings left behind, and it's just another way of connecting the community, present and past.
As a spur on the West Georgia Textile Heritage Trail, communities are able to make connections between individuals, local mills, and the greater West Georgia region. While generally the textile industry in the region shares similar experiences from one city to the next, the trail emphasizes stories unique to each community.
We decided on 5 themes for Carrollton's West Georgia Textile Heritage Trail outdoor exhibit, and they focus on the millmen, the business minds behind Mandeville Mills. They focus on one of Carrollton's larger industries, hosiery, during the 1920s and 30s, the railroad, which played an important role in many small towns becoming economically successful. And we focus on the square because that's where a big cotton market was, and it was even still booming after the railroad came. And we also talk about Mandeville Mills and the mill village. A lot of towns along the trail had mill villages, and that culture was different than the town that it was in or that it was near, and it's really interesting.
The 5 themes each represent a unique location of the trail. The mill people and businessmen behind Mandeville Mills contributed to the rapid growth of Carrollton in the early 20th century. The men, women, and sometimes children who worked in the cotton and hosiery mills made it possible for Carrollton to become the huge cotton producer it was. The mill village allowed these workers a chance to have a home and become a community. The railroad and square were important landmarks for the textile trade. Access to the railroad allowed these mills to trade with areas far away, further increasing economic opportunities.
For Carrollton's portion of the Textile Heritage Trail, we chose 5 locations that we felt were significant and helped tell a complete story of the city's textile history.
Adamson Square was the site of the old cotton market. During the early 20th century, Carrollton was a main producer of cotton for the South. Buyers and farmers from all over would gather at the Carrollton Square on market day to fill the air with linen progress. Mandeville Mills changed the economic landscape of Carroll County in the early 20th century. According to the July 16, 1927 edition of the Atlanta Constitution, reports read at the annual meeting here today of the directors of the Mandeville Mills disclosed that much new equipment will be added to take care of the rapidly expanding business of the mill. The reports also indicate that all individuals of the mill were showing handsome profits. Each site represents an important aspect of the textile industry in Carrollton. By preserving these stories, public historians are preserving an important aspect of our culture.
We've designed our signs, our 5 outdoor interpretive signs, to be a walking tour, self-guided. We have a brochure that goes along with it that'll have extra information for those visitors that really want, they want to know more about the boll weevil, or they want to know more about the cotton market in the square. And people will be able to use that and the map that's on each sign to do a self-guided tour. They can even drive to these different places. We've chosen these sign locations because they are pedestrian friendly and they are driving friendly. There's parking nearby, and this way people really get to create their own experience.
Visitors to the Carrollton Spur that wish to know more about a specific mill or topic can access the West Georgia Textile Heritage Trail website, either at home or while on the trail. Each panel on the walking tour has a QR code. Using their smartphone, visitors can scan the code and instantly access additional content online.
The trail is a self-sustaining entity which thrives on membership funds from collaborating businesses and communities, or spurs. These memberships allow each spur of the trail to operate independently and provides framework to create an overall cohesive experience. Benefits of membership include a yearly newsletter, collaboration with other businesses to form a multi-business package, and both online and print advertising opportunities. To learn more about the trail, please visit our website.